Ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight for another edition of NASCAR 06 Total Team Control, a Tuesday night doubleheader for you guys in the NASCAR Busch Series season with another Do It for Dale Series live stream tonight. Two 50% races for the Busch Series. Our first one will be at the UPS Speedway, and then the second race of the night will be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This one's going to be a quick one. This is on a half-mile short track, and it is less than 100 laps, so this is going to be very crucial to try to make sure that Dale Jr. is going to have the right car coming into this one to make it even tougher on us tonight as well. Just like last night in the Cup race, no practice, no qualifying for both of these 50% races, so we will be starting from the rear in both of them. Hopefully we have the right setup, and there should be one pit stop races in both, at least a one-stop race in this one. Maybe it's going to be a two-stop race in the Vegas race later. It depends how long we could go on fuel. Again, running a 50% race, it's not the full fuel run throughout the course of the night, and I think that's why we should have one pit stop in this race, despite the fact that it is on a half mile and it is less than 100 laps. But nevertheless, let's get this one underway. UPS Speedway, and like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as well. On the road to 3,000 subs, on the road to becoming a NASCAR commentator in the real world for real races down the road. Thank you for tuning in again here tonight. King Diamond Jeff, Wade Solinsky, Lawn Mower R6R6, welcome to the stream, and others, welcome in tonight. Dale Jr. starting towards the rear of the field here. Oh my gosh, big wheel spin on the start for Dale Jr. Green flag is in the air. I'm going to talk about spinning your tires on the start. Dale Jr. did just that in turns 1 and 2. He's hoping he has the setup right for this racetrack. Again, no practice and qualifying. First short track, not only of the Busch Series season, but it's the first short track I've raced on NASCAR 06 since we started this gameplay series. Junior's going to have his work cut out for him. Obviously not a good start already. Happened to be at the back. Oh, my bad. So never mind, it's 175 laps. I'm stupid. It was, I think it was supposed to be 350 laps, but because it's a 50% race, it's 175. See, when I looked at it, I was thinking it was 175, and then after and then 50% of that, but I had the math wrong. It was 175 after 50%, so I feel a little bit more comfortable. Dale Jr. could take a little bit of time, so a little bit longer of a first race than what I originally thought. 175 lapper. Guess I probably could have gotten away with doing 2 streams instead of 1, but oh well. Stay low and go is going to be the motto for Dale Earnhardt Jr. right now. Easier said than done. Of course, this is one of the fantasy tracks on the actual Busch schedule for the NASCAR 06 video game. We're in contact with the 116 car off the exit of turn 2. Dale Jr. dives it off pretty deep on entry into 1 and 2. Really loose off the exit of the corner, and he's still trying to catch the car down into turn 3. More contact with the car to the outside. Dale Jr. finally able to keep control. Oh, big contact. Got pointed at an awkward angle. 3 wide going into turn 1. That didn't work. Dale Jr. lost his rhythm and struggled the next couple corners after that. Right back to 42nd again. Car's a little loose, especially on corner exit when you're getting the power down on the straightaway, but even feels like it turns a little easy on corner entry too. Lots of racing left. You have 175 laps. Not a long time on a half-mile short track, all things considered. Definitely going to be a one-stop race today, maybe 2. It's probably why Dale Jr. spun the tires on the start, too, because getting into the gas, getting up to speed on the restart, he was already in the middle of turns 3 and 4. And with the car loose, definitely didn't help. Well, Martin Truex Jr. is actually leading the race right now in the 8 car. So that is the update. You see on the track map on the upper right-hand corner of the screen that the 8 car is in the lead. Dale Jr. got shoved out of line that last corner. Entered a bit too deep down on the apron. Right back up to 40th place, though. Big run off the exit of turn 4. Really low exit. It's going to make for an awkward angle into turns 1 and 2, and he shoves up the track. Barely kept it off the wall. It gets back down to the bottom before getting into turn 3. Ethan Mark DeMars, welcome to the stream. Dale Jr. getting a bit loose again on corner entry. It's going to be 3 wide on the bottom into turn 1. Thought better of it, backed out of the gas a little early so he could make it into the corner. He was 3 wide one other time and almost ended up wrecking himself. Even in the preferred bottom lane, so he tried to refrain himself from going 3 wide that last time. Dale Jr. is sitting 39th in the point standings following the first 2 races of the Busch Series season. 2 finishes outside the top 35, a 36th and 37th place finish in the first 2 races at California and Daytona. A bump and run on the car to his outside as he pushed a bit wide over driving 1 and 2. But he is definitely going to have to make some adjustment changes during the first stop because this car is mad loose and we're only 20 laps in. Traffic doesn't help. A little bit of a stack up that time. Earnhardt gets to the inside. More contact with Smith on the outside. Oh, more contact off the exit of turn 2 behind Dale Jr. as well. New leader at the front of the field. I believe Jeremy Mayfield in the 79 is out in front. Jeremy Mayfield and Casey Kane both driving 79 cars this season. Splitting the workload in the Busch Series. I believe Mayfield's in the field tonight. And Martin Truex Jr. just took the lead back from Mayfield. Mayfield got 5 bonus points for leading a lap. But Martin Truex Jr. now back out in front. He's led the most laps in the early going of tonight's race. Battle for track position on a short track is huge. And the fact that Dale Jr. did not qualify put himself in a bad spot. No practice either. Big loose moment. Catches the car in line behind the 117 in turns 3 and 4. But again, Dale Jr. is wrecking loose from the drop to the green flag. It's slowly getting worse and worse and worse as we're 25 laps and counting into the run. He's just going to have to hang on for dear life. Yeah, I'm at 23 PSI right now with 1 round of wedge in the car. It is still super loose. 117 putting a little bumper to the car now on his outside of Aaron Crocker in the 6. Crocker off to a great start this season at a top 5 at Fontana and of course won at Daytona. Tony Stewart won the last race at California, led the most laps in that one as well. Getting the max points day. He's the points leader coming into this 3rd race of the season. We'll probably see him in the 2nd race at Vegas if he's not in this one. So he'll likely end up losing the points lead. Dale Jr. up to 27. Single file into turn 3. Really just trying to stay on the bottom lane and trying to refrain from overdriving the corner, going wide and getting stuck up there. In that outside lane. The inside of Kenny Wallace. Stacker 222 car. Earnhardt getting loose again, down on the bottom. He gets loose and then he touches the apron. That transition from the apron with how flat it is compared to the banking in the middle of the corner is what really upsets the handling in the 81 even more than the already loose conditions. Definitely going to be making some heavy adjustments to this race car though. He's going to want to be competitive enough for the win. That's what Dale Jr. is going to have to do in this 81 team. You got to be thinking wins if you're Dale Jr. going down into the Busch Series, but at the same time, just get a solid finish the way the season has started off in the Busch Series. He does have a win in the Cup side through the first 3 races, but that's his only top 10 in both series combined through 5 combined races. 0 for 2 and trying to get a top 10 in the Truck Series as well with Matt Crafton. Oh, Crocker got tight off the exit of turn 2. I think she just barely kept it off the wall though. Earnhardt to the inside of the 110. I'm definitely going to feel more confident at Vegas considering we've had speed in the Cup car there. I know I ended up finishing 26th, 1 lap down, but that was because of poor pit strategy. Hopefully we have better pit strategy in the Busch Series race. It's going to be a different kind of pit strategy race, considering it's a 50% race, only 100 laps compared to the 267 lap, 400-mile Cup race last night. Truck Series, Ron Hornaday, yeah. I thought I said Hornaday, did I not say the Truck Series? It does seem like Martin Truex Jr. is kind of pulling away a little bit at the front of the field. Earnhardt a bit loose off the exit of turn 4, had to lift quite a bit that time just to keep it off the car to his outside. Jr. in the wall now, up on the outside of the racetrack off the exit of turn 2 also. Lap 40. Earnhardt into the side of the 64 rather. And he'll make the pass for 18th. Continuously getting looser. So hard not to dive it onto the apron with how loose the car is. It almost wants to turn on its own with how loose it is, especially in the middle of the corner. Definitely a tricky racetrack. Formerly known as Red Ball Raceway on NASCAR 05, renamed the UPS Speedway on NASCAR 06. Still the same half-mile short track. Not the same length as Bristol. 5.33 mile short track. Dale Jr. had a big run off the exit of turn 4. Just got a bit loose though. He was going to have a shot to get underneath the next car. Got stuffed on the outside in turns 1 and 2. Earnhardt's still wiggling around in 3 and 4, and he's got to get back in a rhythm again. Alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in race 1. A lot of heavy traffic up ahead, nearly 3 wide. Into turns 1 and 2, and it is 3 wide. Will they make it off the exit of the corner? Oh, one car got in the wall on the outside, whoever that green car is. And that's stacked up the outside lane and allows for Dale Jr. to get down low. Jr. trying to make some passes. He's going to get underneath the 83. Oh, up the track into the side of the 83. Now he's got a car underneath him. They're 3 wide. Still 3 wide. Finally gets back down to the bottom as he falls right back to 17th place again. Truex Jr. still out in front. He's about to catch the back of lap traffic if he hasn't already done so. Little bump and run by the 33 of Stewart, who is running in this race after all in that Old Spice number 33 car. I know Tony Raines is in the 33 as well. Maybe it's him. Kind of like I saw with Mayfield running in the 79 instead of Casey Kane today. Definitely could be possible. We'll take our first field swap of the race, and we'll take a look at how Martin Truex Jr. is doing out in the lead right now for at least a couple laps. Truex on the outside in turns 1 and 2. No traffic in line behind him, though. Not directly behind him. Close enough to make a pass, at least. Truex. I think we're back live. Hang on. Let me know down in the chat if everything is working properly now. I had a big lag out. Good to go. Luke Jarvis, Nuajoji, welcome to the stream. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. I had a really bad lag. OBS not only disconnected on me, but I also couldn't connect to my internet either. I was refreshing and it gave me the... I don't know. It was weird. Yeah, I was trying to refresh it and it wasn't allowing me to. It was just giving me the spinning circle for the longest time. But I think we're up and running now. And it looked like we had a bot in the chat too while I was gone. But I think we're all right. Cars on Boy, welcome to the stream. Drive the UPS truck in this game. I can. Maybe that's part of the sponsorship with the UPS Speedway. Dale Jr. halfway on fuel right now. Not sure what lap he hit halfway on fuel because I was in the middle of the field pass where we were taking a look at Martin Truex Jr. out in front of the field. You guys kind of missed most of it, unfortunately, due to the lag. We'll try it again for the next little bit. We'll have another field pass in a couple laps. Ooh, contact up ahead. 3 wide now as Tony Stewart gets moved to the outside. Big aggressive move by Dale Jr. trying to go to the bottom 3 wide. He got a bit loose on the inside. Couldn't hold it. Stewart gets contact again from the car underneath him. Dale Jr. hooks the inside perfectly that time through 3 and 4. He'll make the pass on Tony Stewart for 14th. Again, Dale Jr. started in last place in this race and is just slowly moving himself through the field. No practice, no qualifying. He's getting used to driving the loose race car. Bit of contact off the exit of turn 4. Keeps the drive in it though, and he's up to 13th, and now he's in the wall. Off of turn 2, that's going to mess up his entry into 3. Gave up a lot of bottom. Gonna dive bomb back down to the inside into 1 and 2 to get to the inside and hangs on to 13th place still. 7 seconds off the race lead from his teammate of Martin Truex Jr., who obviously had a much better starting position in this race. Car somehow found his way back in front of Dale Jr. Dale Jr. a little hard into the corner. Saw the rear of the car slip out from underneath him. It's still sliding out from underneath him. So he made the pass. Lap 71. And we'll have another field pass now. Mark Truex Jr. is now out to about a 1.9 second lead as he's getting through lap traffic really, really well. Truex may have a shot at leading the most laps considering this is only a 50% race as well. This car's definitely handling a lot better than Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s. Jr. looking to the inside for another position. And he's got the spot. All clear for 11th. Contact up ahead. Stacking up some cars. Dale Jr. inside the top 10 for the first time tonight. 100 laps to go this time by. About 7 seconds off the race lead again. It's going to be interesting if we have green flag pit stops. Maybe we get a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops. If we get a caution, Dale Jr. is easily right back in this race. I should say in it even more. Gutsy move to the bottom. Trying to get two birds with one stone through 3 and 4 and does. Dale Jr. the 7th. J.J. Yaley, Clint Boyer right in front of Dale Jr. for position as well. Earnhardt in the wall off turn 2 a bit. Back in the gas a tad too soon. Bit of a wiggle. Man, snappy loose that time off turn 4 also. Definitely going to have to start back in the middle of the corner up more and more and more as they get on older and older tires. The good news is the second run of the race is not going to be as long as the first. Plus, if he tightens the race car up a bit, you won't have to worry about it being too tight late in the run or loosening back up late in the run. But that also means he's going to have to go quite a ways on this run for that to be the case. And we have some cars pitting now this time by. Some of the leaders are on pit road, so some short pitting as the window is open to the end of the race. About 95 laps to go. Very risky to short pit on a half-mile short track. Dale Jr. is definitely going to take this run out as long as he possibly can. Maybe get some bonus points for leading a lap potentially as well. All over the back bumper of J.J. Yaley looking to make the pass. Yaley closes on Boyer into 3 and 4, drives it in deep. With him doing that, it allows Dale Jr. to get to the inside of Yaley. Into 1 and 2. Not going to be able to stay underneath the 18. Lap cars coming off of pit road up ahead. Ooh, contact. Jr. got into the right rear of Yaley. That really stacked up Dale Jr. Allowed one of the lap cars to get in between both himself and the 18. A lot of heavy lap traffic right now around some of the drivers in the top 10. Earnhardt gets very sideways off turn 2 and has to hang on to it. The middle to exit, he's even looser. He's definitely loose on corner in too, but he's having a hard time if he gets back in the gas a little too soon and a little too quickly. The rear tires are spinning out from underneath him. Battles to the inside of J.J. Yaley again, who is struggling with another lap car, but Dale Jr. for the life of him cannot get around Yaley. And Yaley's being held up by Boyer right now because I think the 18 car is faster than the 2. Jr. trying to get around Yaley clean because he's scared if he gets into him, he may wreck. That's how loose the race car is. There's contact up the track. Boyer finally got a pit. That's going to give Earnhardt 5th off of turn 2. Used Yaley up quite a bit to make the pass. And now Yaley's stuck on the outside. Earnhardt up to third now as another car in the top 5 is pit. Martin Truex Jr. still on the track trying to get as many laps led as possible. Right rear wearing out on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s race car right now. Earnhardt really loose in on turns 3 and 4 again. Now the right front wearing out quite a bit as Earnhardt had another big moment in 1 and 2. Oh, car checks up right in front of Dale Jr. Heavy damage to the left front fender on the 81 now. That's a tough break. Jeremy Mayfield in the 79 going to get down on the bottom. Earnhardt slides right in front of the 2 car of Clint Boyer. It's a pretty heavy damage on the left front fender of the 81. I believe it's in the red. Now he's in the wall again off turn 2 as well. Earnhardt's struggling with this car. Martin Truex Jr. is on his way into the pits. Jr. stuck on the outside of the racetrack, finally gets back down to the bottom through 1 and 2. So with Martin Truex Jr. in the pits, Dale Jr. going to stay out another lap. Again, he's stuck on the outside through 3 and 4. Oh, and he just hooked the 116 into the wall. Heavy damage. Couple other cars going to pile in. Caution's out. I think Earnhardt's going to lead under the caution flag as we have our first caution of the race tonight. Martin Truex Jr. was still the leader when the caution came out. So Dale Jr. did not get a lap let in. And unfortunately for Dale Earnhardt Jr., man, I can't pit for fuel or tires here. I don't know. Well, I guess I wouldn't have trapped that many cars a lap down considering the fact that Jr. wasn't even in the lead yet. I guess I'll pit for fuel and tires. Truex was on pit road, so he's not going to have older tires than me either. Gonna be a lengthy stop on the 81 having to repair damage. Earnhardt most certainly not the last car on pit road right now. Not going to be able... Oh, jeez. Not going to make any adjustment changes, though, because of bringing out the yellow, so he's still going to end up having to battle a loose race car to the end. He's got stuck on the outside and tried to push his way down to the bottom a little too soon. Dale Jr. going to restart third. It looks like green flag back in the air. Oh, no, he's in 5th. Green flag back in the air. Where's Truex at? Oh, a little bit of contact. 116 pretty upset with Dale Jr. right now as well, by the way. I don't know where Truex is at. This running order, I guess, got shifted a little more than I originally thought. This is not the way Dale Jr. wanted to get back into this race. Oh, this is going to get nuts. 4 wide for the lead. Maybe not 4 wide anymore, but they're 3 wide and there's a bit of contact. 64 just bounced off the wall on the outside. These guys are battling. Earnhardt's going to go for it into 1. Can't get to the inside of the 64. Or the 83 for that matter. Jeremy Mayfield looking down low. He's under Earnhardt. Earnhardt down low trying to block the 79 of Mayfield. Oh, I am a lap down. Well, see, I guess I got penalized for bringing out the yellow or something. I guess it was alright for me to pit for tires then if I went a lap down. I don't feel guilty about it. I didn't even realize that until just now. It was only because I looked at the chat. This is problematic for Earnhardt. Earnhardt gets used up. I think it was Brian Vickers underneath him. Knocked him into the wall off turn 4, and Dale Jr. stuck on the outside. Losing positions too. Bobby Labonte underneath him. Earnhardt needs to get back on the lead lap in case we get another caution in this race. And I believe Tony Raines is in the lead right now in the 33 car. That is not Tony Stewart's 33 in the lead. It is Tony Raines' 33 car in the lead. Both for the same team. Contact off turn 4. Dale Jr. trying to take it 3 wide underneath the 83 and the 163. I think that smoke is from Earnhardt the lap before. Gets into the 83 car. Little bump and run as Earnhardt sticks his nose. Gonna run the 83 up the track and 3 and 4 as well, using them all up. Now they're 3 wide behind Dale Jr. through turns 1 and 2. Will they make it off the exit of the corner? They do. At least for now. Dale Jr. trying to get his lap back and then hope for a caution. Contact with the 64. Runs through him. That's for 4th. There's Jamie McMurray in the 64 car. And Dale Jr. gets a little out of shape. Up the track, he may give the spot back up to McMurray. No, not quite. McMurray stays in line behind him. Not sure if this next car is for position or not. Tony Raines with the clean air, having an advantage right now. Jr. definitely has a little damage on the front of his car after the caution with the 116. See, if he can get a caution that isn't his fault, then he can pit for fresh tires too. He's only going to do that if he gets back in the lead lap. Loose as fast as long as he can hold on. That is true. Had a hard time trying to do it today, though. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Very inconsistent. But in a 175-lap short track race, you could probably get away with driving this loose of a race car and make it to the end, and that's what Dale Jr. is trying to do now. Tony Raines still in the lead, so that car that just got around him was a lap down. Earnhardt will get around Jeremy Mayfield. Maybe Mayfield's 2 laps down because Dale Jr. is still shown in 4th. The Jr. back on the lead lap after getting around Raines. Just drove into the wall into turns 1 and 2, and Raines closes back in. So Jr. is on the lead lap. Now can he get a caution before the end of the race to get him back in contention to win? Untimely caution, which was all his fault. Unfortunately, that it came out and he got penalized for it. The only saving grace is that there were a lot of other cars who were trapped a lap down or more outside of just Dale Jr. Crypto, welcome to the stream. Honestly, I'm alright with a 4th place finish, though, even if it does stay green to the end. Dale Jr. needed a good run tonight. Again, came in 39th in points. I know it's only 2 races into the season, but this is a season-long points format in the Busch and the Truck Series. There is no chase or playoff system this time period in the Busch and Truck Series. So starting this deep in a hole, and Cup Series regulars even running at the UPS Speedway, that's not a Cup track. I did not think they were going to make the trip. But even points leader Tony Stewart's here. And obviously he's going to be tough to beat and run pretty competitive on a regular basis, I'd have to assume, considering the fact that he's a Cup regular. Wonder if anybody can catch Tony Raines, though. This is the first time Raines has led all race, all season, in fact. I don't think he's led a lap in the first 2 races at California and Daytona. 50 laps to go this time by for Reigns. That was a pass for third, by the way, for Dale Jr. as well. So Dale Jr. up to third place. Only 4 cars on the lead lap with a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops. Dale Jr. one of them now. 13 seconds off the lead. He's definitely quicker than Reigns. I'm not sure where Reigns was running before the caution. Obviously, he didn't pit until after the yellow. So that's why he was on the lead lap. But he couldn't have been that fast because I don't think he was in the top 5 at all when Dale Jr. was up in 5th place before pit stop started. I mean, I guess he could have been either 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, but I doubt it. Problem is, Dale Jr.'s got a lot of traffic to pass, though, just to get the Reigns, and Reigns has a lot of clean air in front of him right now as well. So Dale Jr. is definitely going to need a caution. He might have a shot at 2nd, only because we don't know exactly where 2nd place is running. Eliminate through the different camera angles again. Definitely a bounce-back performance for Dale Jr. in this one. On a new track, nonetheless, and the first time on a short track in this game for myself in any of the top 3 series. Go back to the bread and butter mile and a half, though, at Las Vegas in the next race on this stream. You won't have to go anywhere. Second race of the doubleheader will be on this stream. Jr. overdriving turns 1 and 2 a bit. Trying to stay hooked to the bottom as well as he possibly can. Less than 12 seconds off the race lead with a lot of dirty air. Cars start to act up in traffic again. It's closing in on the 116 car, who is a rival right now. We know Biffle's a rival in the Cup Series with Dale Jr. and the 116 after that first and only caution of the night so far. It's a rival of his in this Busch race. Big block. Lap car right in front of Dale Jr. Oh, and he got into the 116. The lap car. Now the 116 runs into the side of Dale Jr. on the front straightaway. Jr. not able to get around him as he got held up by the car on his outside. And that is his rival. And he did not turn Dale Jr. at least. And turns 3 and 4 that time. And I think the 116 is still stuck on the outside. So that's also going to help Dale Earnhardt Jr. stay in front of him and pull away from him. Junior's going to be aggressive, going 3 wide to the inside. Finally, 3 wide actually worked at this racetrack. Earnhardt got through there cleanly. See, now once Tony Raines catches lap traffic, Earnhardt should be able to close back in on Raines again, as long as Raines doesn't get through the lap traffic too well. Again, Dale Jr. definitely has a faster car. No clue who's even in second place currently. I feel bad for Martin Truex Jr. I mean, he had this race pretty much in the bag as long as it stayed green. And the worst possible time for caution was when he was already on pit road, and I think he definitely got trapped a lap down. Plus, he could be the car in second, trying to run down Tony Raines as well. Caution's out. Exactly what Dale Jr. needed with 33 laps to go. We have our second yellow of the race. And it's debris off the 116 car. His hood has fallen off. He was involved in the first caution earlier. He was riding around for quite a while before the hood fell off his race car, but it finally falls off. He tried to wipe out Dale Jr., and maybe that was the karma, and a caution that actually helps Dale Jr. out. And Jr.'s going to pit during the caution flag here. There's not too many cars on the lead lap, so he's not going to restart in third anymore. He's going to lose a couple spots. He'll be the only car on pit road. He'll top off on fuel while he's here as well, even though he's plenty good to the end. 4 tires, and now he can make an adjustment change. Going to drop the air pressure 2 pounds, and going to add a half a round of wedge as well. So Dale Jr. going to try to tighten this race car up for the late going. Second stop of the day. Still a couple sets of tires left to the end of the race, no problem. And will this be the final restart? Again, second race of the doubleheader will be on this stream following the end of this race. It'll be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on the Busch Series on NASCAR 06, so you won't have to go anywhere. It'll be right here on this stream. And this first one is definitely setting up for something interesting with this late caution. 33 to go. Yeah, not many cars on the lead lap of the caution in the middle of green flag pit stops earlier in the race, and now Dale Jr. only loses 1 spot. He'll restart in 4th on the outside. Green flag back in the air. Tony Raines is the leader with Jamie McMurray in 2nd. McMurray, of course, a Cup regular. One of the young guns in the Cup Series. Dale Jr. got back down to the bottom pretty quickly, right in line behind Bobby Labonte in the 19. He gives Labonte a bump off the exit of turn 4 and quickly drives to the inside. Again, Dale Jr. made some adjustment changes. Hopefully these are the right adjustment changes. Martin Truex Jr. back on the lead lap, getting around Raines on the restart, and McMurray's going to take the lead through 3 and 4. Raines is stuck on the outside behind the lap cars, and he's going to lose 2nd and likely 3rd place as well. Raines cannot get down to the bottom. He might have a hole to do so in front of Dale Jr. this time into 3. Jr. drives it in deep, trying to get to the inside of Raines and couldn't do it. Tony Raines got back down to the bottom. Now Raines goes 3 wide to try and get 2nd place back. McMurray going to put Truex a lap down again as he tries to get away from the leaders. Jr. overdrives the corner just a bit, but he will squeeze the car on the outside, clears him with a clean pass. He has passed the 120 car. Tony Raines has gotten around Martin Truex Jr., and I'm sure Truex is going to let his teammate Dale Jr. go through 3 and 4. Jr. will get around him cleanly. Jr. has pressured tires, and he's got 23 laps to get around McMurray and Raines. Dale Jr. has not led a lap all race long. And what a timely caution as he's got a shot to win his first Busch race of the season. Raines overdrives 1 and 2, gave a lot of bottom open. Earnhardt stuffs him! Up the racetrack, an aggressive move by Earnhardt. And he's up to 2nd. Doesn't want to waste any time. In case we get another yellow and have another restart, he'd like to be the leader for it. Can Jamie McMurray hold on older tires? Dale Jr. is right there. And all this bad luck in the Busch Series to start the season could go away in the first race of the doubleheader tonight. McMurray squeezes Earnhardt. There's contact off turn 4. Earnhardt almost lost his race car. Has to save it. He lost a lot of ground through 1 and 2. Tony Raines is closed in, and he's going to have to gain the ground back on McMurray. Still has time. 18 to go. Don't want to wreck it. Trying to go for the win. Right as I said that, I just got in the wall again off turn 2. And Earnhardt hasn't even led a lap yet. Using all the racetrack off turn 2. He is digging. Quickly closes on McMurray again off turn 4. 16 laps to go. Might have to give McMurray a little bump and run if he takes too long to get around him. He'd like to force McMurray into a mistake. Off the exit of turn 4, Junior is right there. Goes up the track. May have grazed the wall off turn 2. That scrubs a little bit of time off that lap on Dale Jr. Good run, though, through 3 and 4 into the inside of McMurray on the front straightaway, side by side for the lead into turns 1 and 2. McMurray squeezes Earnhardt. There's more contact, and they're still side by side as McMurray holds strong on the outside. Junior sends it in, slides up, clear off turn 4. 13 to go. Earnhardt's out in front for the first time tonight. And on fresher tires and clean air, he can drive away. Hopefully, at least. McMurray just overdrove 1 and 2. He's going to go a bit wide. He's definitely losing time to Dale Jr. now. The prayer was answered. He got the second caution. He was able to pit for fresher tires with not many cars on the lead lap. And that was the difference maker in him being able to get around Raines and McMurray on the restart. 10 laps to go at the UPS Speedway. Now Junior's just hoping it stays green to the end. Though if we get a caution late enough, it could end under yellow as well. Definitely not going to catch lap traffic to the end of the race. So nothing but clean air in front of Earnhardt as he pulls away on the fresher tires. Already over a 1-second lead. Took to the first short track of the Busch Series season for Dale Jr. to get his first Busch win. It's going to be 3 different winners in the first 3 races in the Busch and the Cup Series if Earnhardt holds on to win. Again, he's sailing away. As long as we don't get another restart, should be alright. He did spin the tires on the initial start earlier today, so he definitely doesn't want to deal with another restart. Barely kept it off the wall of turn 4. He's still pushing hard, though. He wants to see that white flag as soon as possible. No cautions come out on the final lap in this game either. 5 to go. It's another 50% race. One of these times I'll win a 100% race on this game. The only Cup win was a 50% race at California in the first few races of the year. Another 50%er yet tonight at Las Vegas following the conclusion of this race. Step in the right direction though for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He didn't lead a lot of laps. He only will go down to lead likely 13 in this race. But it'll be the final 13, the most important. Yes, he is catching the back of the field. Only 2 more laps though. He's not going to quite catch them. Just over a 2-second lead on McMurray. Saya Z, Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go for Dale Jr. Junior Nation going wild at the UPS Speedway. They're going to see their favorite driver go to victory lane. Second Cup regular to win in the first 3 races. Third different winner in the first 3 Busch races. Junior wins at the UPS Speedway. Let's go. And the Oreo Ritz machine is in victory lane for the first time this year. Dale Jr. is a winner in race 1 here tonight. Down to business again, though, as race 2 is coming up in a matter of moments. Martin Truex Jr. rallied to get a top 5. He probably was the most deserving driver to win this race, but that caution, the first yellow, not the second one, the first yellow trapped him a lap down, and I think he finished first car 1 lap down in 5th, led 93 of the 175 laps, so he will get 10 bonus points today. Dale Jr. led 18 laps in this race. Tony Stewart ends up leading 39. Jamie McMurray with 23 there towards the end. John Hamilton, fantasy driver, finished in 4th. Again, Truex ended up rounding out the top 5. Johnson finished 6th. Erickson 7th. Bobby Labonte 8th. Jerry Mayfield 9th. Peterson rounds out the top 10. A lot of fantasy drivers in the top 10 with the shaking of the running order, but a lot of Cup guys in the top 10 as well. I think Tony Rain's the only Busch Series regular to get a top 10 today that wasn't one of the fantasy drivers. Virtue of that timely caution, though. And let's see, margin of victory was 2.6 seconds, 52 minutes to get the first race in tonight. 2 cautions for 6 caution laps, 15 lead changes, and an average race speed of 105.85 miles an hour on this half-mile short track. Let's take a look at the point standings real quick, and then we'll go to Vegas. Again, no practice or qualifying for race 2 of the doubleheader tonight, so we'll be starting at the tail in that one. I'm going to put in a little bit different setup than what I had in the Cup race yesterday because it was really tight at the beginning of the Cup race. I'm hoping that translates well to the Busch Series. I think it will, considering the fact that the Busch cars are a little bit slower than the Cup cars. So I might even get away with a little bit of a tighter setup too. Samstown 150 will be the second race of the night. Patricia Times, welcome to the stream. Tried Oreos. I think most of us probably have. Oreos are pretty good. One of the top cookie brands out there. It's very unique too. That's the skill points. I'm about to go to the standings. Alright, so Bobby Labonte is the new points leader following the UPS Speedway today. Alright. Martin Truex Jr. is second in the points standing, so he keeps climbing up after a top 5 finish today. He's also in the top 10 in the Cup Series standings too, so Truex having a great start there. Aaron Crocker won the season opener at Daytona, is down to 5th. Tony Stewart lost a lot of spots in points today. He's back to 11th. He was the leader going into the race in points, and now he drops 10 spots. Of course, 93 off the lead, did not get a good finish in this race. We have 3. This is our 3rd bot in the chat now. Try to make sure to report them if you see them in the chat. I'm trying to ignore them overall, but it's been a little while. About a week or so. Ariel Diaz, Jacob Givens, welcome to the stream as well. If you missed race 1, race 2 of the doubleheader will be coming up on this stream, so don't go anywhere. 100 laps at Las Vegas. Dale Jr. is up to 18th in points after his first win of the season. Was 39th, gained 21 spots in the standings. Again, with it being super early in the season, that is why he gained so many spots. Still 133 out the lead, and obviously a lot of drivers between him. Hopefully he has a good run at Vegas. Maybe he can crack the top 10 in points by the end of the night. Again, a season-long points format in the Busch and Truck Series. So after the second race, we'll have 31 races to go in the season. Still very early in the year. New leader, World Championship, Bobby Labonte, not Terry Labonte. Bobby Labonte's the points leader. I don't think Terry's in the Busch Series in this game, just in the Cup side. Alrighty.
To the running of the NASCAR Busch Series Samstown 300. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is known for lots of green flag racing. So it'll be up to these drivers.
Gonna go one round of wedge. Tire pressure, we're gonna have it at, let's just go 23 PSI. And we'll get race 2 of the doubleheader underway. No practice qualifying, but of course we did have 267 laps in a Cup car at Vegas last night in the daytime for this Busch race as well. A lot shorter of a race though. Instead of 267, it's only 100. Green flag in the air as Miller will lead the field to the green in the 21 car. And Reese's Chevrolet for RCR. We'll contact at the back of the pack. They're already stacking up on the opening lap as Dale Jr. will take it 3 wide to the inside off the exit of turn 2. He's not wasting any time. He was pretty patient in the early going of the Busch race, and it worked out well for him with the timely cautions late, but he doesn't want to have to rely on a late yellow in this one to put him off pit strategy. He wants a shot to get to the lead right here, right now. One car nearly got into the outside wall off the exit of turn 4. Earnhardt 3 wide to the bottom through the tri-oval again. Big move down into turn 1. Slid the rear tires a little bit. He is really pushing hard early. Still 3 wide in front of Earnhardt off turn 2. Clint Boyer's in the middle of it. Earnhardt up 10 spots already. Oh, he got into one car in the middle. Little bit of contact. Going to slow Dale Jr. down in the tri-oval. More contact. Up to 29th. Jr. might have to back off the aggressiveness here. That lap was a little bit sketchier than the first lap. Means they were up to speed that time. Good exit to turn 2, though. Just gets to the inside of Clint Boyer on the back straightaway, and he's going to be aggressive again into 3 anyway. Had the run, didn't want to give it up. One car's almost in the outside wall. Off the exit of turn 4, they're stacking up. And as they stack up in the tri-oval after a near accident, Junior goes down to the apron to pick off a bunch more positions. It's already past half the field. And up to 21st. Guys are going to get spaced out eventually, and it's going to be a little bit harder to pass. Oh, man! I don't know who that was on the outside in front of Earnhardt, but somebody nearly got squeezed into the wall. Oh, and there's more contact now in front of the 8. He's stuck on the outside. He got way out of the gas. He thought they were going to wreck right in front of him. Junior would have had nowhere to go with cars on the inside of him. Wild race off the start. Everybody knows the sense of urgency is on with this being a short race. Junior overdrives turn 3. He's going to be stuck on the outside again. He's losing a lot of positions now. He was up in 21st. Now he's back to 28th. And still stuck on the outside. Gonna be able to get back down to the bottom through the tri-oval. And underneath the 2 of Clint Boyer into turn 1. Casey Kane also to the outside. Junior overdrives the corner, and he's going to lose a spot. Clint Boyer actually got his car to stick on the inside 3 wide and makes a few passes for position. Big dive to the apron for Dale Jr. again, through the tri-oval. Gonna slide in line clear off turn 2. Looked like he was picking him off pretty good early. He's definitely started to stagnate after the first few laps. He's having a hard time with turn 3 right now. It was turn 1 that was giving him problems in the Cup race last night. Car in front of Dale Jr. scraped the wall off turn 4. Junior again down to the apron. No out of bounds at Vegas. Old or new Vegas. Going all the way to the apron through 1 and 2. Man, oh man, dude, what is up with this? They're coming in rapid fire tonight. One 20 car who's coming off a 4th place finish in race 1 at the UPS Speedway is leading early on. Good qualifying effort. Earnhardt is definitely using his tires on quite a bit on the bottom. He's not able to stick the apron like he did in the Cup race last night. Might have to stop going down there. He's going to get around Casey Kane in the 79 car through turns 3 and 4 with a clean pass. He'll go to the apron through the tri-oval. He just can't do it in the middle of the corners. That's where he's struggling with it right now. Dale Jr. to the inside of Clint Boyer. Another gigantic shortcut. Into turns 1 and 2. Stays on the inside of the 2 of Boyer. Goes down to the apron to the exit of the corner. He got it to stick there. It's just corner entry where it seems like he's not able to grip up the inside. She got it to stick on the apron on entry through 1 and 2, but Dale Jr. may be playing with a little bit of a risky game by doing that. And he's gotten a little bit loose a couple times down there already. Little contact. Moving a car wide up to 17th. Oh, big block by the 117 car. Jr. burning his tires off his car right now. That time he didn't go low intentionally. He got shoved down there by the 117 car in front of him who made a late block about 2/3 down the front stretch. I didn't see what New Joji said in the chat. But I assume it was something inappropriate. JVC 1103, welcome to the stream. 117 car may have gotten into the wall off turn 2 that time. I saw how good the 8 car was last night as well in clean air. It was in traffic where he struggled most of the day. So maybe if he can pull out, get some clean air over the course of the longer run, or get track position one way or another, that could help him too. Got really loose into turns 1 and 2 that time, even without getting to the apron before he got loose. He got there as a result of getting loose that time. But yeah, he's definitely going to burn those rear tires off the car. He's got to be careful. And that's only going to make the car looser and looser and looser as the run carries on. It feels like it's loose in on both ends of the racetrack, but then in the middle to the exit of the corner, it tightens up quite a bit. Yeah, he's getting loose on corner entry even without driving it in deep. Sticks a little bit better in the middle to the exit of the corner. That time he didn't get loose. The weird thing is turn 3 he's struggling so much that I can't tell if he's tight on entry down there or if he's just over driving it. A little bit better that time. You can still see the 81 wiggling. It's crazy how both ends of the racetrack are so different from one another as far as the handling of the 81. You're down to the apron through the tri-oval. Man, almost spun out. He wasn't getting loose on the apron in the tri-oval last night. Might have to just stop going down there for right now. He had a big run off turn 4 too. I thought he was going to be able to use that shortcut to a huge advantage to get around the 119. A lot better through 3 and 4. He's underneath the 119 car. We'll see if he can clear him. Again, taking the shortcut. This time he hangs on to it, and he's going to pull clear before getting into turn 1. More clean air in front of the 81, and he handled a lot better that time into the corner. As soon as he gets a bit of space between him and cars in front of him, the car handles perfectly, but in traffic, it is all over the place right now, and maybe he could settle in on a longer run at this pace, but if he settles in easily, then he's definitely going to end up catching the cars in front of him again. Tokyo Drift action. Going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in race 2 of the doubleheader tonight. These guys can go 50 laps on fuel. It will be a one-stop race. Again, the fuel window is not going to be about a full 60 laps or so in the Busch Series, considering it is not only the Busch Series instead of the Cup Series, but also considering the fact that this is a 50% race, so it's not the full fuel window that we're used to seeing if it was a 100% race. Again, we may see some varying pit strategies if it is going to be a two-stop race to the end. Really good through 3 and 4 that time for Dale Jr. Halfway on fuel, lap 23. Oh boy. This may be a fuel mileage race tonight. Dale Jr.'s running about 4 laps shy of being able to make it on just one stop. 120 car hasn't been leading the last couple laps. It looks like another fantasy driver took the lead away from him. $20 likes on the stream right now. Thanks for everybody hitting that like button. Be sure to do so if you haven't already, and also subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We're in the second race of our doubleheader tonight on the channel. Dale Earnhardt Jr. running in the 15th place position. 75 laps to go at Las Vegas this time by. Dale Jr. closes to the inside of the 163, who also gets to the inside of the pole sitter in the 21. Bit of 3-wide action for a brief moment off the exit of turn 4, and I believe Earnhardt has cleared them both. Jr. gets a bit tight in the dirty air on entry into turns 1 and 2. Grips up in the middle of the corner, though. He's going to get a pretty good drive up. Oh, almost hooked himself off the front bumper of another car. He's going to slide down into the grass on the front stretch as he makes a gigantic save into turns 3 and 4. More contact with another car. Junior's dropped back a few spots to 17th again. And Martin Truex Jr. is going to get to the lead for the first time in race 2. He led 93 of the 175 laps in race 1, but finished in 5th. Got trapped a lap down after a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops midway through the race. We eventually had 2 cautions in that race. Least amount of yellows we've had in a Busch race this season. Kyle Busch-esque save, yeah. It was fishtailing a lot, but it wasn't like... Almost felt like Trevor Bayne in the All-Star race that one year. Or in the Open. Danica about spun him out. He's fishtailing down the front stretch. That's what that felt like. Lost a lot of time. He's about 4.5 seconds off the lead. And Martin Truex Jr. is out in front right now in the 8 car. The car's unstable when it hits the apron for sure, but I'm not trying to get... The car's so loose on corner entry, it kind of drives down there on its own sometimes. I don't have control of it enough. But if I enter a little too far high, then it just doesn't roll to the bottom, and it's because it's a one-groove racetrack at Vegas, and you need to get to the bottom as soon as you can with how flat it is. Really hard to round the corner out. Junior trying to do a better job of it. Get the tires on the white line. That worked through 3 and 4, and it allowed him to get around Casey Kane in the 79. Taking a shortcut down to the apron through the tri-oval, and he may be able to make another pass for position into turn 1. Stuck it beautifully that time around. Got back in the gas. Almost a bit too soon. And he did clear the car to his outside cleanly. Crowded him a bit, but that's alright. It's not like he squeezed him into the wall or anything, so here we go. Vibing the Ritz car, yeah. Susie Check, welcome to the stream. This classic Dale Jr. Busch Series paint scheme. Ooh, boy. A little too low that time. Casey Kane, who just got around the fantasy driver between Dale Jr. and Casey Kane himself. Kane will also get around Jr. through 1 and 2, getting around 2 cars that lap to move back inside the top 15. Come on. To think I was the one that got my own stream taken down for spamming the other night. For spam content. Yeah, we have all these bots in the chat. Spamming. Junior lost the nose of the race car through 3 and 4. Gonna have to give up another spot, it looks like. Gonna try a crossover move into turns 1 and 2. Oh, lost the nose again. Scrapes the wall on the outside as well. Quarter tank of gas left for Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's Martin Truex Jr. who leads right now. Oh, 1 car up the racetrack. Jr. power sliding off turn 4. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. We'll take our first field pass of the race at lap 36, and we'll take a look at what Martin Truex Jr., the 8 car, is doing out in front of the field. Ooh, Truex getting a bit loose. Truex is sideways, and he is going to lose it. That was before we even took control. Shane Beal's going to get to the lead on the outside as Martin Truex Jr. will lose the lead off of turn 2. Got really loose that time. He's going to try to run Meal back down again. First lap led of the night for Meal. Oh, Meal going way up the racetrack, though, through turns 1 and 2. Gave up a lot of time. I have to say, Mark Truex Jr.'s car's handling a lot better than Dale Jr.'s. Probably why he's out in front. He's able to grip the apron through 3 and 4. Some of the leaders are on their way into the pits. And we'll go back to Dale Earnhardt Jr. for now. Jr. just got around Clint Bowyer in the 2. Jr. overdriving turns 1 and 2 just a bit. Bowyer trying to get underneath him. Off turn 2, not quite going to be able to do it. Big block by Earnhardt on the backstretch. And Mark Truex Jr. will pit this time from 2nd place. Shane Meal also coming onto pit road. So again, it is a 2 pit stop race tonight in the 2nd race of the doubleheader at Vegas. First race is a 1-stopper at the UPS Speedway. Oscar Ramirez Herrera, welcome to the stream. Ooh, Bowyer using Earnhardt up. Oh, he just squeezed him in the wall off turn 2. Bowyer overdrove turns 1 and 2, got to the inside of Dale Jr. And they both got up into the outside wall. It cost him a bit of time. I think Bobby Labonte's in the lead right now. 5 bonus points for Labonte. He came in as the points leader early in the season after the first 3 races. It'd be nice if Junior could get some bonus points at both races by just staying out longer than everybody else on his current fuel run. Dale Jr. up to 2nd, just 1 more car in front of him, still has to pit. 60 laps to go at Vegas. Tires are obviously wearing out on the 8 of Dale Jr. right now. Looks like the 133 car is the one out in front. See if the 133 will pit this time. Dale Jr. can get in front of the car in front of him. Leader will pit. One of the lap cars who have already pit is in front of Dale Jr. He's going to be tough to pass with Jr. on older tires. 5 bonus points for Dale Jr. leading his first lap of the 2nd race of the doubleheader tonight at Vegas. Trying desperately to get around this car in front of him. Really had a wide entrance into turns 1 and 2, trying to arc the corner off. Older tires going to be so difficult, but if he can get the clean air, that's going to be huge for him for the remaining laps of this current fuel and tire stint. Can't quite do it. He's going to be aggressive. I don't know if this is going to work on old tires or not, but he's going to try to be aggressive. He's on the inside of the 32. No, nope. No, he lost it. Slides back up in line behind him again. He got back into the gas in a decent spot, though. Meal trying to pinch Earnhardt on the backstretch. Into turn 3. Earnhardt going a bit wide. Gets into Meal. And another car is going to get down low. The 120 will get by. So much for that. Dale Jr. just is struggling right now on old tires. He's going to stay on 1 more lap. He'll pit at lap 45. He's going to try to take that excess road to pit road so he can try to maybe gain a little bit more time. Oh, contact with Kenny Wallace. Earnhardt got loose and Wallace just got into the back of him that time in the middle of 1 and 2, but Dale Jr. holds on. And Junior's going to be on his way in. Again, he will use the excess road. Oh, 1 car blowing up. Right in front of Dale Jr. Jr. has to go to the outside. It's Kenny Wallace. Kenny Wallace blew an engine, was trying to get to pit road as Dale Jr. was on the excess road, and they almost collided on pit road entrance. pound of air pressure going into the 881 car, and then a round of wedge, or half a round of wedge.
Tires all the way around.
Reagan Fan 6, welcome to the stream. Alright, there we go. Let me unpause it now. Wow, it's a slow stop for the 81. I think he just lost a lot of time on older tires, though. Oh my gosh. It is like every couple minutes. Interrupting the race. Hopefully the adjustment changes are going to work out for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He definitely lost some time on pit road. He's going to cycle off of the pit lane in 21st. Just shy of the halfway mark in today's second race. I think we're going to see some drivers short pit as soon as that window opens to the end of the race. Field's a little bit more spaced out too. Maybe that'll help Dale Jr., at least with the handling of his car. He came out of pit road 10 seconds off the race lead from the 120. Martin Truex Jr. did not cycle to the lead following green flag pit stops, so he did not have a great stop. Dale Jr. didn't have a slow stop, but I think him getting checked up coming into the pits by Kenny Walls blowing an engine and trying to get the pit road in front of him definitely costed him maybe a couple seconds, as well as just staying out on the track longer than anybody else. But at least it secured 5 bonus points for Dale Jr., so that's why he wanted to do it. He's been aggressive pretty much from the get-go in this one. It's worked out for him so far, at least in the sense that he's kept the car clean. And he's going to have to continue to do that into the second half of this race if he's going to want a shot. Junior got really tight that time off turn 4. Halfway home. Take our second and final field pass of the race. We'll see where Martin Truex Jr. cycled following his first pit stop of the race. And it looks like Truex is currently back in the 5th place position. He led and then he lost the lead to Shane Meal right before pit stops. Him and Meal are actually battling for 5th right now. We are still caution-free in this race at Vegas as well. Well, we have our first caution-free race on NASCAR 06. Now, granted, it's a 50% race, but still. Be interesting if this still does go caution-free. Truex gaining a little bit of time on the cars in front of him. It's going to be interesting to see if he can run down the leaders. Junior about 9 seconds back of the race leader right now. He could probably get away early in the run with driving it down on the apron and being aggressive. He wasn't really able to get away with it earlier, but with the adjustment changes, he could probably get away with it now. Gonna put a pass on Eric Crocker for position. Moving around her for 18th. Knowing how fast Martin Truex Jr. was on the long run the last time, too, him and Shane Meal, those are going to be the two guys to beat with their track position right now. Jr. has to lift off turn 4. Definitely going to take the shortcut through the tri-oval to try to make up for it as much as he can this time. He definitely used his tires up going down there quite a bit early in the race, too. The pit window should be open to the end of the race. I would assume we're going to see some drivers short pitting sometime soon. Dale Jr. is only about 8 seconds off the lead. As long as that 120 car is out in front, I think that's going to help Dale Jr. out quite a bit as well. Earnhardt about 0.2 of a second quicker than the 120 car that last lap. Looks the bottom lane through 1 and 2, drives underneath the 83. Again, are these the right adjustment changes? A bit too loose in the Busch Series. A little too aggressive on the setup. He was tight early on in the Cup race last night, tried to compensate for that in the Busch Series with the information he had. Unfortunately, it was too loose. Derek Booth, welcome to the stream. Black Ace, welcome to the stream as well. 24 people watching right now. 21 likes on the stream. Be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Less than 50 laps to go in tonight's second race of the doubleheader for the Busch Series on NASCAR 06. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got the win at the UPS Speedway in the first race. Oop, in the wall. Off of turn 4 for Earnhardt. Cost him some speed on the front stretch. He's going to wear out those right side tires a bit more too every time he makes contact or gets into the wall. He's definitely made the right adjustment changes to this car, but his 10 seconds is just too much to overcome in the second half of the race. Oh, well, that might help. Caution's out for the first time today with about 42 laps to go. The caution will wave. And, oh, the leader spun out. Nobody else collected, but the race leader has spun out the 120 car off turn 4. Slams the outside wall, backs it into the grass on the front stretch. And this is going to be interesting right now. Caution is out. The field will likely end up pitting. Oh boy. Definitely topping off on fuel. No adjustments this time, and right side tires only for Dale Earnhardt Jr. So they're going to try to gain time on pit road. Jr.'s going to go right sides only. It's going to be a risk. He's only got about 15 to 20 laps on his tires. Right sides will definitely wear out a lot at Vegas. We've seen that already today. Contact coming out of the pit box. And Junior gained a few spots with that. He was hoping to gain more. Well, hopefully the right side tires is enough. It'll loosen the car up just a little bit. Hopefully it's not going to loosen it up too much. Green flag back in the air. Great launch on the restart for Dale Jr. as he gets to the inside of Miller in the 21 car into turns 1 and 2. That was a great restart for the 8. Can't tell who the leader is right now. I think it may be Bobby Labonte, but I'm not entirely sure. Whoever it is, they're about to lose the lead in turns 3 and 4. It's not the 120 car anymore. After the 120 had spun and brought out a caution, but the 120 is going to get to the lead off the restart, though. 3 wide. Earnhardt had no clue he was 3 wide and squeezed the 21 of Miller, who was in the middle, and then had to lift to keep from wrecking. Martin Truex Jr. going for the lead for the second time tonight now through turns 1 and 2. Hopefully Earnhardt's car does not get too loose on the old left side tires to the end of the race. Loose as fast if you can hang on to it. It was definitely a gamble. Martin Truex Jr. to the lead in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4, sorry. Wrong end of the track. 36 laps to go. Six-car breakaway right now at the front of the field. And it turns 3 and 4. Wide arc for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Truex is going to lose the bottom lane. Oh, Dale Jr. is way up the track. He's in the wall off of turn 4. Big block on Clint Boyer on the front stretch as Jr. got held up. One car goes way wide into 1 and 2, the 163. Truex is fighting for his first win. He just saw his teammate and owner get the win in the last race. Chance 2 Motorsports. Dale Jr. is tight off of turn 4 right now. 34 laps to go still. There's definitely time. I don't know if he's going to have the pace on the 2 old left side tires. That might not have been a good call. He was hoping he could get to the lead and get to the clean air, but he fell about 6 to 7 spots short. I think he restarted in 7. Oh, they're nearly 3 wide for the lead into 3. I keep saying turn 1. Martin Truex Jr. stuck back at 4th. The more those guys battle for the lead, the more it's going to keep Dale Jr. in this one. Just made a pass for 5th place in 3 and 4 on the 163 car. Dale Jr.'s definitely got a little bit of time on his hands. It is just a constant roulette wheel in the battle for the lead at the front of the field. And Dale Jr. wants a piece of it. We'll alternate through the different camera angles one final time in tonight's race. Big run! They stacked up in turns 1 and 2. Dale Jr. goes to the inside, 3 wide. And he may try to do it again in 3 and 4. Yaley's going to squeeze the 1 into the corner. Earnhardt up the track a bit, trying to keep it off the car to his outside. He's still going up the track. Yaley's out in front, though. Dale Jr. lifted quite a bit just to keep it off the 120 car that time. Earnhardt sends it into 1 and 2, down to the apron. Really close to the grass that time, too. He's doing it while he has the grip. He's up to 3rd off turn 4, but he's in the wall. And now he's going to block his teammate Martin Truex Jr. on the front stretch. Big mistake by Earnhardt. Lost a lot of time to the top 2. And Truex got stuck on the outside after having to get stacked up behind the 81. And the 133 car is down on the inside of Martin Truex Jr. for 4th. Dale Jr. does not have the tire advantage, and that's probably why he's pushing a little tight. I thought the car was going to be a little looser, but I guess it's a little tighter. One way or another, he doesn't have the grip he did before that caution. Will we stay green to the end of the race? And we saw the leader in the 120 lose control of it on his own. Not saying he had the race won, but definitely made his life a little bit harder. Plus, he has damage, of course. Great corner exit that time for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Looking to the inside of the 120. Big block by the 120 car that time into turns 1 and 2. Earnhardt backs up the corner. Will beat the 120. Back to the gas. Off turn 2. Dale Jr. looking low. He may get underneath J.J. Yaley for the lead. Trying to side draft Yaley into turn 3. Side by side for the lead, and off of turn 4. Jr. pushing hard. Clears Yaley with a slide job. And a block to the bottom. Jr. leads with 27 laps to go at Vegas. The 120 to the outside, that might not work. If he makes a pass on the outside, that's going to be highly impressive at Old Vegas. Surprised he even got there. Yaley going to the bottom. Jr. trying to protect on the inside. Junior's a little tight right now on corner exit. Oh, the 120 and the wall. So is Junior. There's contact off turn 4 into J.J. Yaley. And Junior holds on to the lead. Junior struggling on old left side tires. Another caution comes out, that would hurt. Yes, it would. There's not many cars a lap down right now, if any at all. These guys are almost fast enough to get around Earnhardt on the outside. 133 just bounced into the wall off of turn 4. Martin Truex Jr. is up to second. Dale Jr. down to the bottom. Through 1 and 2, Martin Truex Jr. looking to the outside and for the lead. Junior's car's starting not to stick on the apron as well as it did earlier. Tony Raines to the outside. Where'd he come from? Junior's going to get into him. He's going to lose the bottom of the racetrack, and they're 3 wide for the lead off of turn 2. Junior needs to be aggressive to try to stay alongside or in front of the field because he may lose them. Otherwise, oh, he didn't mean to get into him though. About wrecked the 133 car. Truex is way back in traffic now as well. That is not what Dale Jr. wanted to do. Junior's just trying to hold on for dear life right now. I really wish I would have taken 4 tires. It was a bold call. I don't know if it's going to work. There's still 22 to go. I think that's Casey Kane in second. Actually, it might be J.J. Yaley. It's hard to tell who that is. Earnhardt sticks on the apron that time through 1 and 2. I think that's Clint Boyer up to second. What a restart for Boyer. Earnhardt swaying back and forth in the tri-oval. Good news is he has clean air. That's going to help the handling of the car more than if he was in traffic. Martin Truex Jr. battling back on the inside right now. He's sitting in line behind Tony Raines. Off turn 4, Raines may get to the inside of Dale Jr. Jr. with a block, barely cleared, 20 to go. Tony Raines is there. Oh, Earnhardt overdrives 1. Tony Raines to the lead. Truex got stuck behind the 81 on the outside, and now he's 3 wide with a couple cars underneath him. Junior trying to get the clean air on the nose, down to the apron. Sticks through the corner, actually closed in on Bowyer a bit. Really needs Bowyer to get up to Tony Raines. Raines had the win in the bag before that last caution with 33 laps to go at Vegas. This caution has given him a shot to try and get redemption to win the second race of the night. He has 18 laps to try to hold on in front of Bowyer. Junior needs to make quick work of the two. He's going to get underneath him off the exit of turn 4. Side by side for second. He definitely needs to get around him clean in turns 1 and 2. Great corner for Dale Jr. on the inside. Car not being bothered in traffic right now. That, and he's just hit this mark as perfectly as he can. Raines goes a bit wide into 3 and 4. Earnhardt way down low, down to the apron. He's going to push tight off the exit of turn 4, and he's in the wall. Pushed as hard as he could there, lost a bit of ground. Bowyer to the outside for second into turn 1, and Tony Raines has a little over half a second lead. Bowyer is going to make the pass for second on Dale Jr. He's clear. Jr. with a crossover in the trial, back to the inside of the 2. Oh, Raines went really wide in 1 and 2 that time. Jr. with a slide job and clears Bowyer. Bowyer's in the wall off of turn 2. He's going to lose more than second. He's back to 4th. Tony Raines is going wide. He is missing the bottom of the corner 2 corners in a row now, and Dale Jr.'s trimmed the lead down to a half a second. Got a bit tight off turn 4, stayed in the gas and didn't get in the wall that time. He'll close the gap. 15 to go. I don't know. I don't think the tires are going to completely even out, considering the fact that I only took 2 tires versus 4. Those left sides are going to be really old to the end. Enough space for Junior behind Raines. Not quite the dirty air. It definitely helps that Raines is running a wider corner entry so Junior can actually dive it off without the car getting super tight on the bottom. See, again, Raines goes really wide, and that time he can't even get the car to the inside. Dale Jr. gains about 3 car lengths or so through 1 and 2 as Tony Raines continues to miss the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to miss the bottom again through 3 and 4. Earnhardt's going to try to go for the gap. Just a little too far behind him. He actually held the low line all the way through 3 and 4. 13 laps to go. Raines going wide, but so does Earnhardt. Still don't know who that car is in 3rd. Well, Junior's definitely tight in the dirty air this time through 3 and 4. Push, but it didn't push wide enough. 3rd place closes in on the 81 again. Raines goes wide into turns 1 and 2. Junior closes again. Raines again goes wide through 3 and 4. Dale Jr. to the inside. Can he hold the exit of the corner underneath the 33 of Raines? Yes, he does. 11 laps to go at the line. Raines will lead that lap by inches. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. is underneath the 33. Junior down below the white line. Sticks it. Clear off turn 2. 81 to the lead again. Down the back straightaway. They'll be coming to 10 to go. Oh, he gets sideways and saved it. And he gets into Reigns on the outside. Oh, here comes the 6 down low. Aaron Crocker to the lead. Stepped a little over the edge that time. And now Crocker goes wide into 1 and 2. Earnhardt's almost in the wall, and Boyer's underneath him. Aaron Crocker goes wide again into 3 and 4. Boyer to second. Nine laps to go. Aaron Crocker won the season opener at Daytona. She's trying to get another win. And just the 4th race of the season. I don't even know where Truex is at anymore. He's not even in the top 5. Dale Jr. sends it into 3 and 4. Trying to get to the inside of Clint Boyer in the 2. Desperately. He's definitely underneath him side by side for second. Oh, contact. Contact into turn 1. Boyer and Earnhardt get together. Boyer's in the wall on the outside. Reigns down low. 3 wide again as Earnhardt crosses Reigns over for second. 3 wide for second place into turns 3 and 4. Earnhardt down low on the apron. Clears both Reigns and Boyer. Barely keeps it off the wall on the outside. Crocker going to go wide into 1 and 2. Dale Jr. is wiggling around quite a bit. The car's gone from really tight to really loose in a hurry. That's why you saw Jr. have that very loose moment when he was trying to take the lead from Reigns a few laps ago. It's still tight off turn 4, but it's loose everywhere else. Lifted off the exit of turn 4, and Crocker pulls him. Crocker going to go wide, though, into 1 and 2. Junior flirts with disaster every time he's on the apron. Yeah, debris could be a possibility on this game. We had a debris caution in the last race. The UPS Speedway. Oh, Junior might be there now. He's underneath Crocker off turn 4. Side by side for the lead. 5 laps to go at Vegas. Junior with a little bit of a shortcut that time. Left rear is really wearing out. Again, Junior on old left side tires. Into turns 1 and 2. Crocker still trying to hold on the outside, and they're still 2 by 2 down the back. Battle for the win is on. Can Junior get around Aaron Crocker in the 6? He just can't get the drive off on the inside unless he clears the 6 car. 4 to go. Trying to side draft Crocker in the tri-oval. Reigns all over the back of the 81 and the 6 into turns 1 and 2. Crocker's doing an amazing job on the outside, but the car underneath, however, obviously on older tires, but Junior can't complete the pass. Into turns 3 and 4. This is insane right now. They have been side by side for about 3 laps in a row. 3 to go at the line. Crocker by inches. Boyer's underneath the 33 of Reigns now for third. Big dive down to the apron. Earnhardt gets loose. He goes up the track. Oh, into the wall. Big wreck off of turn number 2. Oh, man. Terrible crash. Somebody's up and over in the back of the field. I had a bad feeling something like that might have transpired. I think it's Drew Miller in the 21 who ended up on his lid. I don't know how, but he ended up on his lid. Got piled into from behind and squeezed by cars in front of him. The big one at Vegas. And we're going to have a green-white checker restart. And Dale Jr. has so much damage on his race car right now, and his night is going to come to an end. Oh, jeez. what was that, 2 to go, 3 to go when that happened? No cautions on the final lap if we could have gotten there. That was a great battle until that happened. It sucks to see it end with a yellow like that. We're going to get to the restart. Dale Jr. is just going to try to pick up as many spots as possible. That's the risk, though, trying to battle for the win, and then something like that ends up happening. Clint Boyer is going to win the race. Oh, man, I forgot there's no green-white checker. That's the second time I've done that this season. I did that in California, too. I gotta stop doing that if we have a caution late in the race. I keep forgetting the race ends under the yellow. There should be green-white checkers in this game, but there isn't. So the race ends under the caution flag, and Clint Boyer is gonna win the race after Aaron Crocker and Dale Jr. wiped out in front of the field. Tale of two races. Win in the first one, 40th in the second. Aaron Crocker ended up second. Can you believe that, though? I mean, that's such a NASCAR 2021 finish. Like, not video game finish, but like NASCAR in the year, or sorry, NASCAR in the year 2022. That's like a next-gen car finish. Top two just took each other out, and Clint Boyer in third ends up winning the race, leading 3 laps, and I think it was the final 3 under caution. Were the only laps Clint Boyer led today. Eric Crocker nearly won 2 of the first 4 races. Boyer is going to be the 4th different winner in the first 4 races this season. Of course, running full-time in the Busch Series in the 2-car for Richard Childress Racing. But Crocker finishes second, Casey Kane third, Martin Truex Jr. in 4th. Good finish for Truex. J.J. Yaley ends up 5th, Trigger 6th, Shane Meals 7th, Ryan Newman 8th, Bobby Labonte 9th, and then Brad Miller. I said Drew Miller. That's a pitcher, former pitcher for the Tigers. Brad Miller was the one who flipped, but ended up finishing 10th. With the field freezing under the caution, ending the race with a couple laps to go. It was good racing, but it stinks though that I wrecked and had a bad finish because remember, there's no playoffs. No chase format in the Busch Series. It's a season-long points format, so even though Junior got his first win tonight, he finished 40th in the next race, so he's just going to lose a lot of the points he gained in the race prior. But Boyer goes on to win. That's unbelievable, though. 4 different winners in the first 4 races. We had 2 drivers with 1 win battling on the last, with 2 to go, and they both wrecked each other in 1 and 2. Earnhardt got loose on the bottom, slid up into Crocker, and it was on from there. Next race is going to be at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Busch Series, and that will be taking place another day. Tomorrow night's live stream is going to be the Truck Series race at Las Vegas, if I'm not... Or, sorry, no. Let me check real quick. I believe tomorrow night is the truck race at Atlanta. Yep, tomorrow night will be the Truck Series race at Atlanta on NASCAR 06, so our 3rd truck race of the season on another 1.5 miles. That race will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, side-by-side for 5. I know, we were side-by-side for, I think it was probably like 3.5, 4 laps in a row by the time we wrecked. That was a long time just to go side-by-side on 1.5 miles in a row, especially with how unstable my car was. I wish I would have taken 4 tires. At Daytona, I did not regret it. The Daytona 500, when I took 2 tires at the end of the race, I told you guys I didn't regret it because that was what I felt like was the best shot to win. Because we were back in, like 9th or 10th, 8th, something like that. We were in the back half of the top 10, but if it stayed green to the end of the race, which it didn't, but if it did, I wasn't going to have a shot to win. I needed to get the track position, and I was able to cycle out to the lead, and I just lost control at the end of the race. Same thing happened here on 2 tires. But only this time I definitely regret it because Daytona, you don't know until you try. And I tried it, and I tried it again in the Busch Series this time and on 1.5 miles this time, and I was just too loose at the end of the race. But if I would have had 4 tires under that last stop under the caution. Now, I wouldn't have restarted in 7th. I would have restarted in right around 15th when the caution came out was where I was running. next time you win. Yeah, we'll see. Still have to get our first win in the Truck Series yet. Won 1 Cup race, 1 Busch race. They're 3 races and 4 races, but third race of the year for the Truck Series will be tomorrow night. It will be a 100% race at Atlanta as well. So I believe it's a 200-mile race tomorrow night. But it will start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so be sure to tune in then. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Have a good rest of your Tuesday night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.